Hello everyone, it's a new day, a new video, right? Remember last video we talked about the present perfect continuous, and I emphasized that the next video we would be talking about the differences between the verb tenses, in which situations we use the present perfect continuous, in which ones we don't. So we will dive further into this theme and study more about the present perfect tenses, okay? So let's get started. All right, let me renew my blackboard, right? I have a new blackboard here available. As I don't have a blackboard, I have to use my notebook. Yeah, it's improvised, but it works. At least you may be able to see everything that I'm doing. Okay, remember that last video we talked about how long is used to express an idea for the period of time something is happening. How long is used for an action or activity that started in the past and it's still happening. For example, let's suppose you have a book, right? You bought a book, or no, you didn't buy a book. It was your birthday, you got a present, a gift, and your mother gave you a book to read. And then sometime after your birthday, she asks you if she wants to know whether you finished the book or not. But she's going to ask the question with how long, right? She wants to know the period of time you have been reading the book, if you have already finished it or if you haven't finished it yet. So let's see. How long have you been reading the book I gave you? Yeah, I have to zoom in out. Yes. I have to zoom out because you may not be able to see what I'm writing. Okay, I know it, I know. Let me just give some room to my notebook here. Okay, so how long have you been reading the book I gave you? Well, I've been... Oh my God, terrible writing. I've been reading it for 1 week. What does it mean? Since the time I got the book until now, I haven't finished the reading the book yet. So you can say also, it means that I haven't finished it yet. Okay? Remember, the yet is used with the present perfect tense, right? We have already seen it. So it's an action that started in the past. When I say I've been reading it for 1 week, and it's still happening because I haven't finished it yet. Let's use another verb tense. Imagine a situation in which you have already finished reading the book. So you can say, I have already read it. I have already read it, okay? It's in the present perfect tense. Or, if I want to express an idea in the simple past, which is completed entirely in the past, you can say, I read the book last month, for example. This is the simple past because the action is already complete and you have some clues, right, about whether which verb tense you're going to use. If you see yet, already, there is a high possibility of this verb tense being the present perfect tense, right? The present perfect continuous has the verb to be in the past participle and the main verb followed by ing. We have already seen it. Okay. Considering that you haven't finished reading the book yet, I want to know how much of this book you have read, okay? How much of it have you read? It here refers to the book, okay? How much of the book have you read? So in this case, I want to know how much. It's uncountable, right? Sometime in the future, we are going to study this expression together with how many. How many is used for countable and how much for uncountable. But it's not this lesson right now. And I want to know how much of it have you read, because as you haven't read it yet, you didn't finish reading the book, the action is still happening. I want to know how much of it have you read, okay? It's just an example. In this case, you use the present perfect tense, not the continuous tense. The continuous tense, remember, it has a sense of progressing, something that is still happening. Another example, I have answered 4 emails today. I have answered 4 emails today. The day, is it already over? Yes or no? No, it's not over. We are talking about today. So, what does it mean? The day started. During the course of the day, I have answered sometime in the past 4 emails. The day isn't finished yet, isn't over yet, and I still have until the end of the day to answer more emails. So, will you answer more emails during the day? Maybe yes, maybe not. It depends on the workload you have, right? And the amount of work you have to do. So, perhaps. But what I want you to take notes here is that I have answered is the present perfect tense, and today is an indication, right? It's a clue that the action is still happening. No, not necessarily. I am referring to finished actions in the past because I have already answered 4 emails. I'm not answering emails. I have finished. I answered 4 emails, and until the end of the day, there is still time to answer more. So I can't refer to this situation in the simple past because today is still the current day. The current day, right? We are still in today, so it's possible that I may be able to answer more emails, right? Okay, so far so good. The good thing with the video is that there is no room for solving doubts, right? But no problem. Yeah, anyway, if you have any doubts, you may write a comment, and I may be able to answer you. I see the comment, right? And I answer the comment. It's possible to answer it, okay? Okay, and let me see if there is another thing we have not covered. All right. There are some verb tenses. You remember when we studied the present continuous. The continuous tense in general, they involve a verb with ing. It's the gerund, right? And many verbs are not used in the continuous tense. You remember this from previous videos, I guess. I'm not sure whether you're watching a specific video or if you are following the sequence of videos I'm recording. Yeah, it's not necessary to watch everything, of course not. Imagine these videos are a database in which when you have doubts about a specific verb tense, you just open the video and see some examples or what you use, what you don't use. You don't need to read everything. It's like encyclopedia, right? Encyclopedia. Okay. And I try to give very simple examples. I might be able to write more complex sentences, but it's not the purpose here. I'm here just to study with you some verb tenses and give some examples to keep it as simple as possible. Remember that we talked about the verb know, the verb like, the verb believe. The verb like, believe, and know, they are not normally used in the continuous tense. For example, somebody asks you, do you know, let me see, do you know Brad? Right? Anyway, any name, right? Do you know Brad? And you answer me, yes. I have been. No, of course not. Remember the verb with ing. Is it possible to write like this? I have been knowing. No, it's not possible. Because the verb know is not usually used in the continuous tense. So you say in the present perfect tense, I have known him for 10 years. Okay, known. Which verb is this? Remember? I guess we haven't seen about the verb know. The verb know, the simple past is knew, and the past participle is known. So as in the present perfect, we use the past participle tense, the past participle form of the verb tense. We have to answer known. I have known him for 10 years. So it's not possible to use in the continuous tense. So what's the purpose of bringing back these verbs? For example, the verb see is also another example, but in some situations, as I have already taught in a previous video, it's possible to use ing with the verb see. In other situations, some verbs or some words can be formed linking the verb with ing, but not necessarily the word ending with ing is a verb. Okay, we will study this in the future, not right now, but it's important to know that some verbs are not used in continuous form. Okay. There are some verbs in which we can use, of course, the continuous form, but it's not as easy. And for this, we will talk about it in the next video, right? So far, so good. Bye bye.